Le soleil passe son bras par la fenêtre. Les chasseurs à ma porte comme les petits soldats qui veulent me prendre.
Hi everybody, how are you doing? Happy Friday. Core and stretch today. I'd like you to have a strap or a belt, towel would do. I would also like to use a block today. If you do not have a block, you can do the whole thing without and pretend you have a block at some point between your knees, between your feet. So a block, if you don't have that, also like a pillow may work, or a ball, softball. Okay, so that's the format of today's class. Core for about 40 minutes, maybe 30 if we're lucky, and 30 minutes of stretch, 25, 30, let's say. Okay, so let's all start. And I'm going to start you onto hands and knees today. So we'll start with some cat-cow, some spinal articulation, a little bit of twisting, and then we'll flip on our back, okay? So starting on all fours. So spread your fingertips. Make sure your arms are nice and straight. You roll the upper outer arms back. And imagine as well as you're resting on all fours that your hands move away from each other. So you're actively pushing the hands wide. And you actually, at the same time, your knees are also sliding out. But you're not moving, but it's that intention, okay? So starting here on all fours, bracing. And just start by drawing your navel in towards your spine, tilting your tailbone, start to flex that low back. Start to flex that thoracic spine, flex your neck. And then reverse that motion. So start to find extension now through your neck, through your T-spine, through your lower back. All right, let's do that again. So again, press and round. And going real slow for these first few reps here. And again, inhaling, coming into that extension. Tailbone lifts up, arch the back, melt the belly, and extend through your neck. Look up. Twice more like this. So again, press and round. And just take a few moments maybe to check in. Any areas of your back that feel more restricted. Maybe noticing one side more than the other. And just one more time like this, press and round. Navel in, look back, and then inhale, again, arch. Shoulder blades down. And let's come back to neutral. So coming on to like finding your neutral curve. So a little bit of that low back arch. And then from here, we'll take both hands towards your right. So you can either align the right hand with your right knee, or if you can, you'll walk a little bit further out. Okay, so we'll face a bit of a diagonal here, and we'll do the same thing. So we're gonna round your back. And then as you inhale, arch. Okay, just two more times like this. So again, round. And then inhale, shoulder blades down, come up, one more time, round your back, chin in, and then inhale, and arch. From here, bring your big toes together, sit back, and come into a diagonal child's pose. Okay, so just stretch back. So stretching the left side here a little bit more. All right, from here, come back up. Come back to the center. And now both hands towards your left. So you can either align your left hand in the line of your left knee, or you can walk further out and maybe align your right hand with your right knee, Okay, so you decide. And same thing, just 3 times cat-cow in these positions around your spine. And then inhale, shoulder blades down, arch. Again, 2 more like this, round back. And then inhale and lift up. Okay, so it's a bit of a rotated cat-cow here. One more time, rounding your back. And then inhale. Good. And then come back into neutral. And then same thing, maybe bring your toes together and sit back. Come into a rotated child's pose. All right, and then come up. Let's come back into center. And just for the sake of being nice and even, sit back and take another child's pose. Here we go. So a little child's pose before the storm. And then come back. It's not going to be that bad today, by the way. Okay, so come onto hands and knees. Curl your toes. And let's fire up that core a little bit more. Go ahead and hover the knees. We're just going to hold here for a few seconds. Squeeze your arms to straight. Roll those upper outer arms. Draw those ribs in. Spine is neutral. Set it back down. And we'll do this one more time. So again, saying hello to the core. Hover the knees. Make sure you're not camping in the shoulders. So really draw the shoulder blades down. Navel towards the front of your spine. And then lower all the way down. Good. From here, let's go ahead and extend your right leg back. Take your right leg up, float it. Make sure the right hip is rolling down. Take your left arm forward, just the opposite arm to leg raise. So we are starting to turn on the back of the body here. So the glute, the extensors of your spine, abs are still engaged. Take the right leg to the right, the left arm to the left side. Bring it back to center. And then bring your elbow to your knee. Contract. Again, inhaling long. Arm and leg move to the side. Bring it back to center. Elbow to knee. One last time. Stretch back. Arm forward. Arm and leg. Move away. Bring it to center. Elbow to knee. Stretch. And set it down. Second side. Left leg goes back. Right arm to the front. Opposite arm to leg raise, bird dog. From here, take the arm and leg to the side. Bring it back to center. Elbow to knee. Little tuck. Again, inhale. So the right leg, the toes can be down or you can curl them to the side. This may help you to balance a little bit better. Bring it to center. Elbow to knee. Contract into the core. Again, inhale long. Arm and leg move out. Bring it back to center. And tuck it in. Last one. Inhale, reach. And lower all the way down. All right, come onto all fours. And let's turn around. So we're coming onto your back. So have your block handy. And again, if you don't have one, it's fine. I mean, you can do the class. This is mostly just body weight exercises anyway. But if you have it, I'd like you to grab it, and we'll place that block between your knees. Again, you can use like a squishy ball, that works. You can use like a small pillow, that also works. It's just to get the inner thighs a little more active and to get the pelvic floor muscles also active, okay? So arms are by your side, so we can give your upper body a little break from the hands and knees position we were before. So squeeze that block between your knees, okay? And let's just do that first. So very small movement. You're just going to squeeze the block. And then release. So do this a couple times. Just we get the adductors turned on, but also feeling the pelvic floor. So imagine that the muscles, right, the base here of the pelvis, they kind of move towards each other. Like the fibers of the muscles, they kind of move in towards each other. They glide towards each other. So from that squeezing of the block, do this a couple more times. So again, a little squeeze. So again, activating that low belly. The low back, by the way, is still in neutral. All right, one more time, little squeeze. And then release. And at some point after this class, I will do a little back reset, so the block will come in handy at that point, okay? So from here, let's go ahead and tilt your tailbone up, and then roll your spine up, coming into a bridge. Okay, so in that bridge, we're stretching also the front of the hips, the thighs, we're engaging the glutes. And let's roll your spine down. Okay, just one more time. So again, tilt your tailbone in, low back, feel it pressing down, and then roll up into a bridge. Take one deep inhale, right in that bridge. And then on your exhale, roll down, vertebrae by vertebrae. All right, from here, bring your legs in table. So again, if you have that block, it's right between your knees. Okay? From that position, let's bring your fingertips behind your head. Keep your knees parked directly over your hips. So right now, bring the knees in. It's not a reverse crunch. Try to find that nice stable position. And let's curl the torso up and down. Okay, so very basic crunches here. But can you, as you crunch, evenly press your right and left knee into the block? And lower. Again, curl up. Lower. Again, lift. Lower, drawing those ribs down towards your pelvis. Lower, just 4 more like this. So just a very basic crunch here to warm up. Deep into the core. Lift. Lower. Now lift and hold. And then from here, let's start to curl a little higher. Bring your knees in a little bit for this one. And see if you can bring your elbows into your knees. So your elbows and knees are touching. You can keep your hands behind your head if you need to. Otherwise, you can just rest the hands by the side. And actively pull the knees into your elbows. Push your knees into your elbows into your knees. Contract. So we're turning on that core here. Keep driving those knees in, those elbows into the knees. One more breath here. Tuck, tuck, tuck. And then slowly release. Come on down. Take your arms straight out to your side. So keep the shoulders open. You can flip your palms down. Keep the knees squeezing into that block. Let's take your knees over to your right side. So we'll hover the knees off the ground here. And see if you can even bring the knees towards the right elbow. And then bring it back to center. And then up and over towards your left elbow. Right shoulder stays down. Again, up and over. So revolve the abdominals here. Bring it back to center. And then over to your left. Keep that right shoulder heavy. Back to center. Again. Center to your left. So next time you come to your right, pause. Actively squeezing into the block. From here, extend the right leg. Extend the left leg. Both legs are straight. Bend the right. Bend the left. Come through center. And to your left. Pause here. You can hover here. Extend the left. Extend the right leg. Bend the left. Bend the right. Again. Up and over. To the right side. Hold. Hover. Right leg extends. Left leg extends. Bend the right. Bend the left. Up and over to your left side. Hold here. Right shoulder down. Left leg straight. Right leg straight. Left leg bends. Right leg bends. Bring it to center. Okay, we'll come back to this a bit later. Lower your hips. Just coming to bridge. Again, stretching those hip flexors. Keep the tailbone scooped in. Take your arms overhead. Lower your hips. Keep your arms overhead. Again, bridge. Lower your hips. Roll down if you'd like on this one. Just one last time. Bridge up. And lower all the way down. Okay. From here, let's go ahead and roll yourself up. And have your legs nice and straight. And squeeze that block between your ankles. Okay? You can find whichever position of the block. Again, obviously this can be done without a block, right? You can just sit up with your legs on the ground and your heels together. Okay? So otherwise, you're right here. You're squeezing into the block. This way. Okay. And then from here, you can rest your arms to your side or in front of you. And all you're going to do is you're going to tilt your tailbone in and then sit up tall. Again, rock back and then lift. So initiate that tilt again from your core. Come on up. Keep squeezing those ankles into the block. Again, little tilt. Come up. Twice more tilt. Come up. So we'll do the Pilates roll up next. All right, so from here, let's go ahead and tilt your tailbone. Now, roll down really slowly. Squeeze those ankles into the block. Take your arms up, overhead. Circle your arms around. Scoop, lift, roll up. And then fold forward over your straight legs. And then from here, sit up real tall. Stack up the vertebrae, arms overhead. And again, roll down, vertebrae by vertebrae. Roll your spine. Take your arms to your side. Keep squeezing those ankles into the block. Scoop and lift. Press the thighs down. And then fold forward. Gently fold forward. And then all the way up. So you don't have to be going super deep as you fold forward. You keep that scoop and you keep that C curve of your spine. So you're actually in spinal flexion when you go forward here. So again, scoop and lift. We'll do two more. Press the thighs down, squeeze those ankles. Again, scoop the belly in, tailbone in, fold forward, reach, and then stack up the spine. Articulate up to sitting, and then roll down vertebrae by vertebrae. Push the thighs down, squeeze those ankles into the block. And just one more time here again, arms out to the side, scoop, lift, fold forward, reach. Using my block here. Stack up your spine all the way up. And then again, scoop that tailbone in, roll down vertebrae by vertebrae. And then rest your arms by your side. Good. Bend your knees. Again, we'll take that block between your knees. Okay? And we'll bring your arms one more time straight out to your side. Okay? So go back to that T-shaped arm. Rotate your palms so they're facing down. Squeeze your knees into the block. So we did this one before. You're going to do the revolved abdominals. You'll take the knees to the right. So your option is to keep both knees back, to extend the legs as you go, as you're already on the side, and you extend one leg at a time, or we'll start with that, and then we'll keep the legs straight as you go around from side to side, okay? So that's a progression. It's totally up to you. You can keep both knees back. Arms by your side. Take a deep inhale. Then on your exhale, rotate towards your right. Pause. So let's start the first one here. Right leg out, left leg out. Maybe you bend your knees, or maybe you come up and over and towards your left side. Pause here, and then up and over to the right side. Squeeze those knees into the block. Up and over. Now, if your legs stay straight, you could take the block between your ankles and then do the same exact movement. And then up and over to the right. And up and over to the left. So you exhale in the rotation. Inhale as you hover. Two more times to the right side. Again, squeeze those ankles into that block. Up and over to your left side. Hold here, inhale. All the way back up. Whew. And bend your knees. Good. Take your feet to the ground, the width of the mat. I'm going to put the block aside. We're going to come right back to it. So drop both knees to the right, like windshield wipers, and to your left. Again, to the right, and to the left. All right, so we're going to go into rolling to a V-sit. One more time. So again, we're going to use the block if you have that, and we'll place that between your knees. So again, find your block, place it between the knees, and hold on to your shin bones. So lift your head, your shoulders, and let's do rolling like a ball first. So you're just going to roll back and forth. Roll back and forth. So make sure the head stays out of the floor. You're just rolling till you hit your shoulder blades, chin in, and then come back up. Next time you come up, you come into a V-sit. So hold here, float the feet, hips, come up into a V-sit. All right. Again, bend the knees, roll back, come up, tap to a V-sit. Maybe you straighten your legs. Again, bend, roll back, roll up, V-sit. Again, bend, roll back, roll up. Again, you don't have to extend the legs. Maybe you keep your legs bent. Roll back, roll up. Maybe come to balance to the V-sit. Bend. Two more. Roll back, roll up to V-sit. And then one more time. Roll back, roll up, V-sit this time. Hold, lean back, squeeze the block. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Whew. Have the block in front of you and come down into plank. Forearm plank, all right? So I'm just gonna use the block, and this is like obviously you don't need the block for this one, but since I have it, I'll use it. So we're gonna squeeze, you bring both hands into the block, and you're gonna squeeze your hands into the block. And then you'll come into a plank. That's it, okay? So hands squeeze into the block. Again, if you don't have a block, don't worry about it. This one doesn't really matter. So actively, if you have that block, squeeze into it. Find your plank, activate your plank. And then from that plank, let's go ahead and drop the right knee, and then drop the left knee. Drop the right, drop the left. Drop the right, drop the left. Right knee, and left knee. Right, and left. Two more, and left. Coming all the way down, and coming to Sphinx. Okay? So pubic bone down, chest up, traction, that spine here. So you're gonna go back to the what we just did, and rather than the knee tap center, we're gonna do a knee tap and rotate. All right, so same thing. Push your hands into the block, curl the toes, activate your plank. From here, right knee to left knee to right. Kind of feel like it matches the music, that one. Again, keep going, side to side. Going for a little stroll in Paris right now. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring back center. Lower down. One more time, Sphinx. So we do one more in the plank. So this is going to be plank swivel. So plank swivel, you'll start with your feet slightly apart, and then maybe you'll stack the legs at some point. Again, if you don't want to use the block, you don't have to for this. Back to plank, separate your feet, look forward. So if you have the block, maybe look into the block, and then rotate right, rotate left, rotate right, rotate left, up and over, up and over. Keep going. 2 more. 1 more. Back to center. Hold. And you guess, upright. Come back into Sphinx. Okay. So we're going to repeat that, or you'll stack your feet, and as you rotate, keep your feet stacked or lift your top leg. So that's your final variation. All right, so here we go. Forearm plank, swivel, feet together. Rotate to the right, lift your left leg. Rotate to your left, lift your right leg. Up and over, lift. Up and over, lift. Up and over, lift. Up and over. Last 4.
Hey baby,
3.
Mrs. Cole.
2 more.
Everything's so tough. Didn't know you had a need to be hurt.
1 more.
You wait
Up and over. All the way center. And all the way down.
Should have hooked me
Sphinx.
before I put
All
the
right.
raincoat on. Okay, I get it. Okay, I
Deep breath.
see. You were frantic
Okay.
because you knew
From
you
here,
find
lower
yourself
all the way
vulnerable.
down onto your belly.
Okay, I get it. Okay, I see. You feel vulnerable around me.
So arms are in front of you. You're holding onto that block, again, if you have one. So what we'll do here, so if you don't have a block, your arms are just in front of you, okay? So let's take a deep inhale. Push your pubic bone down into the floor. And go ahead and lift your arms, just the arms. And then lower. Do it again. Lift the arms. And lower. Again, just the arms.
You lost me.
And lower. One more time.
Nothing you can say is gonna change the way I feel.
And down. Good.
Okay, I
From
get
here,
it.
keep your hands, the block on the ground,
See,
or hands on the ground, and lift your legs.
'cause you knew you find yourself vulnerable.
Lower. Keep your legs nice and straight.
Okay, I get
And
it.
then float the thighs up.
Okay, I see.
Lower.
I stepped too close to your
Pubic
back.
bone down. Again, lift your legs. Inner thighs lifting.
Nobody
And lower.
to see.
One more time. Lift.
You feel vulnerable around.
And lower. Good. All right. So next, we'll lift the arms, the chest, and the legs. And lower. All the way down. Again, lift. And lower. So you can take any part of that lift that you need to modify today.
And what's just a game?
All right, so maybe you just keep the legs on the ground. Maybe you just do the hip extension.
Both playing and we can't get enough of.
And lower.
We're both
Keep going. Inhale, lift. Squeeze your hands into the block, look forward. Exhale, lower. Twice more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower.
La,
Final rep. Inhale, lift. Hold it. Squeeze your hands into the block.
la,
And lower down. Whew. All right, from here,
la,
let's come into plank, forearm plank, just to reset your low back. Okay, and from that position, let's go ahead and face the side. So we're actually gonna get the block, place it underneath our hips, and I just wanna do some side bending, but just in a different orientation. Okay, so we'll have that brick, that block. Again, it could be a pillow, and we'll bring our pelvis on top of that brick, okay? And then you're on your elbow, bottom elbow down, okay? And here, we'll just take the arm up, and then we're just gonna lift your legs, and then back up. Lift and lower. So we're side bending that top waist here. Lift, lift, up and down. Lift and lower. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Couple more. Lift, lower. One more. Hold it. Take the top arm up. Then from here, front leg, back leg, bottom leg. So just a little front kick, back kick with the leg. Front, back, front, back, front, back. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Legs are together. Here we go. So, you're going to make little circles here, one direction. Doesn't matter which. One more, that's 5. And then reverse it, other way around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold and switch. Other direction. Okay, so again, we take that brick underneath your pelvis on the side, and bottom elbow is on the ground. Okay, so legs together. Bring that arm down, and it's lift, and then lower the leg. Up and down. So again, you're contracting into that top part here of your waist. Lift and lower. So we're actually activating that QL muscle. 4 more. Last 3, 2, 1. Now hold. Take that top arm up. Take the top leg front and back. Just doing little scissor kicks with your leg. Scissor kick. Front, back, front, back. 4 more. 3, 2 more. 1 more front back. Very nice. Super glue your legs together. Circle. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold. And set it down. Whew. Lie down on your back. Okay. So this next part we're going to do is a reverse crunch. Let me see how much time we got here. Okay. So we're going to do a reverse crunch, and what we'll do is, let's get this here. We're going to take that block around your, so you're going to hook the block between your heels and your hamstrings. Arms are by your side. Okay, you can also grab hold of the mat here on each side. Sometimes I'll do it that way. Okay, so actively squeeze your heels into the block and the block into your hamstring. Okay, so that stays exactly the same. And what you'll do, you'll reverse crunch. So you're gonna lift, woo, and then lower. Again, lift, lower. So again, you can grab hold, you can keep your arms by your side. Lower, again, reverse, lower, reverse crunch, lower, reverse crunch, lower, again, up, and lower. Give me 4 more here, 4, again, 3 more, 2 more, 1 more. Release, remove the block, take it to your side. Okay, so you grab your strap. So the strap, totally optional for this one. Okay? So you're gonna come on up till your low back is on the ground. Shoulder blades lifted. You're gonna take your arms, so hold that strap. You're gonna take your arms overhead, shin in, and then hollow body, extend your legs. Low back pressing down, you can bring your legs higher. If it's too much for your neck, you can bring your hands behind your head. If you have your arms too straight, actively squeeze those hands. Pull the strap apart. 3, 2, 1, set it down. Go ahead and roll yourself up. Face down. So I'm going to go back and forth. We'll do 3 rounds like this. So you're going to go all the way down, just like we did with the block. You'll take your arms overhead, just squeezing that strap. You're holding that strap. And then again, inhale, lift. And hold. Reach those arms. Actively pull out. Stretch that strap. Spread your toes. 2 more breaths here. Reach. 1 more breath. And lower all the way down. Again. Face up. Lie down. Round 2. Low back down. You can bend your knees. Arms overhead. And extend the legs. Low back into the ground. Hold here, ribs in. Actively reach those arms back. Pull the strap apart. One more breath. Exhale. Again, come on up. Roll up. Face down. And again, arms forward. So I'm going to show you another transition that we're going to do next. And you'll be coming off of your mat, so that's the only downfall with doing it that way. So you can repeat this one more time here, just like we did. Again, actively pull the strap. One more breath. And lower all the way down. Again, on your back. So what we'll do here, we're gonna roll back, so a little challenging with my belt here. So we're gonna go into the whole body again. Okay, so this guy here. Okay, so you go from here, and then you roll, and then you come up. Bring it down. Woo. Roll, and then you come up the other side. I'm just gonna have to take breaks without my belt in the way. All right, so let's try it. Again, if it doesn't work for you, you repeat what we just did. Maybe you hold longer in hollow body. Hold here, 3, 2, 1. Roll down to the right. Come up, lift, extend. 1, 2, 3. Again, up and over, center. 1, 2, 3. Woo. Switch to the left. And lift. 1, 2, 3. Up and over. You can use the arms. Back up. 1, 2, 3 to the right. 1, 2, 3 through center. You can use the arms here. And then flip the belt. One more time to your left. Lift. 1, 2, 3. Up and over through center. 1, 2, 3. And rest. All right. Whew. Bring it down. Okay, good. So let's see how much we got here. I'm gonna do one more, actually 2 exercises, so we'll be pretty good, maybe. All right, so we're gonna come here. So this is bicycle, so I want to do that without any props. So hands behind your head, curl up. And then we're just gonna rotate elbow to knee, right? You all know this one, bicycle, reach. So using this as a little reset. Again. Exhale, rotate, and rotate. 2 more. 1 more. And rest. Okay. So we're gonna repeat that, or we'll come up a little higher. So it's gonna look like this. You'll be here. You'll rotate. Down, down. Come up for 2. Down for 2. Up for 2. Down for 2. Up for 2. Down for 2. Yep. Up. 2. Down. 2. Again, you can stay down if you need to modify. Down. Down. 2 more rounds. Up. 2. Down. 2. 1 more round. 2. Down. 2. Whew. Grab your block. Mine, it just flew away. Okay. So, grab that block. I would probably put it not too wide. Putting mine like this high, but it can actually be even narrower. Okay? So, you're gonna bring your feet around the block, and these are butterfly sit-ups. Okay? So bring your arms overhead, squeeze your feet into the block, roll up, touch the block, and down. Come up, touch the block, and down. So it's a full sit-up in a butterfly position. Squeeze your feet into that block. Roll up, touch, and down. Roll up, touch, and down. Come up, touch, down. Just got 5 more here. Up, touch, down. 3. Was it 4? I forgot. 3. All right, 2 more. And then 1 more. Again, you gotta hit that block each time. Tap and all the way down. Woo. Remove the block. Last movement. Arms overhead. So we're gonna go into a toe tap. So you're gonna lift, toe tap, lift, toe tap. Right leg, left leg. If you can, up, full sit up, left, right, left. Give me 2 more, you get a little breather, and we do 1 more round. Your option will be to go both legs. That's the last exercise. It's your V-ups. Hold. All right, so you can repeat this, do 1 more round of these, or do your full V-ups, okay? So full V-ups, arms overhead, come up, lift, and down. And down. Up, down. Up and down. Up and 4 more when you're done. So integrating the hips, the core. 3, 2, 1 more, and 1. Woo. Hug your knees into your chest. Ooh. Little roll side to side. Okay, so since we're on our back, first thing I'd like to do is do a little back reset. Okay? So here, just gonna move around. You can even move the knees around any direction. Gonna move the legs around here. All right. Okay, so this is when, if you have a block or a pillow, that works as well. It'll be helpful because you go back to that kind of knee squeeze. But the first thing you'll do, so have your block or wherever you need handy. You'll float your feet up, legs in table. This is one of my favorite things for the back. So when my back is tweaked, I try to reset it myself. Whatever I can do myself, much better. So we're gonna bring that hand, one hand goes below the knee, and one leg goes the opposite, right? So you have a push-pull. So my left hand is in front of my knee, so as I'm pulling in, I'm contracting my hip flexor. My other leg, I'm pushing down, I'm contracting my hamstring, my glute, okay? So it's opposite, and we do this, we hold. So I want you to push into your hand and pull into your hand on the other side. And then release that, switch the hand. Other direction, push, pull. So you hold for about 5 seconds. Switch again. Push, pull. So I probably do this 3 to 5 times and do 3 times because I want to do it twice today. Okay? Release. Do it again. Push, pull. Switch again. Push, pull. Switch again. Push, pull. And down. Grab your block. Try to not move around, like twist off or whatever. Just try to keep the spine in the same position. Have that block. Feet on the ground. Actively squeeze into that block. Just hold it for about 10 seconds. Hold that squeeze. Maybe you got a little click. We're going to try this one more time. Again, down, and you repeat. Push, pull. Switch. push, pull. Switch. Push, pull. Switch again. Push, pull. Switch one more time each side. Push, pull. Switch one more. Release again. Grab that block. Feet down. And squeeze. Ah, I got a little trick right there. Okay. Hold that squeeze. So it's that same inner thigh, pelvic floor working, squeezing, helping you to reset any tweak you may have in your low back, sacrum, and side joint area here. Hold it, hold it. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Good. Bring that block to your side. And if you've done something like that, rather than rolling up, what I would do is roll to one side as one unit, and I'm coming up, so I don't undo what I just did. Okay, good. So that's the first thing. The second thing we'll do is get into the hip flexors, the psoas. So get a little myofascial stretching in that area. And then I will use the block for an asymmetrical stretch for our hamstrings, our glutes, and our back. So your right leg, so I'm just going to go same direction as you here. Your right leg is in front, and you can go into a little bit wider stance here. Okay, so we take it wide. So we're getting also a bit of the adductors here. The back leg, you'll want to bring the foot out to the side a little bit, okay? Now you could curl the toes if you needed to on this one. Now make sure you're not right on your kneecap, you're above the kneecap, okay? So you're not, there's no pressure straight down on the patella, okay? Now you could get a pillow or something if you need more support here, okay? So I'm gonna just uncurl my foot, but again, if you need that, you do that. So that back leg, the left leg is turned inward, right? So we got that internal rotation. We're stretching that side, by the way, okay? So the first thing you're gonna do is tilt your tailbone in and squeeze your left glute, okay? So you're trying to neutralize your lumbar here, right? So we're not arching, you're not flexing, you're keeping it as neutral as possible here. So ribs in, belly button that pushes back towards your spine. So you start to feel that stretch here in the front of that left hip, possibly through the belly, okay? So here we'll take both arms to the front, all right? And then outer rotation of your arms, pull the knuckles back, okay? And you want your arms to be totally straight. So it's a myofascial stretch. So we're stretching the fascial lines here. So actively reach both arms forward. Lean forward, but as much as you can keep your spine neutral. Chin is pulled back. So you want to lean forward till you feel that stretch. Make sure that back leg is internally rotated. Lean forward like you're trying to reach something you really want. One more breath, keep reaching. Exhaling fully. Now just lean back, come back, release the arms, and we'll switch side. Okay, so I'm going to show you two different stretches. This is the first one. So again, your left leg will be forward, and I would come into a little bit of a wider stance here. Also helps with balance. Okay, so that back leg, I want to turn it. I want to bring my back foot, my right foot, your right foot, to the side, all right? So that leg is internally rotated, that back leg, right? So I want to think of spinning it in. Then I'm squeezing my right glute. And again, I'm trying to push my belly button back so I'm not arching my back, right? So I really want my low back to be neutral here, long. And take both arms to the front. So again, outer rotation of your arms. So you're pushing with the heel of your hand. Arms are totally straight, chin is in. Belly button back, and I'm actively pressing my arms forward, and then I'm reaching forward, just to the point that I feel that stretch in the front of my right hip. Okay?
Raise a tent of shelter now, though every thread is torn.
Actively reach. Chin is in. 2 more deep breaths.
Dance me to the edge
1 more reach.
Dance me
And release. Come on all the way up. Release one hand, the other. Switch sides. Go back to the first side.
dance me through the
So again, so in that lunging position, same thing, back foot, turn it out so your thigh turns in, right? So angrily rotate that back leg. So we're gonna add a side bend and a rotation. So you're gonna get deeper into that psoas, so deeper in the belly here. So once more, reach the arms one at a time. Outer rotation of your arms. Pull the knuckles back, so wrists are extended. Squeeze that left glute. Belly button goes back. So what you'll do here is you'll lean to the right, side bend towards your right. The arms are about shoulder width apart, that hasn't changed. And then you'll rotate towards your left, towards the back leg. Actively reach. So make sure there's no sway in your lower back. Your chin is pulled back. Belly button moving back as well. Side bend, rotate, look right between your hands. 1 more deep breath here. Exhaling fully. And then come back to center. And release one hand and the other. And switch side. Okay, so your left foot forward. Again, widen stance as you need to. And then start to pivot at that knee, so you bring that right foot out to the side. So again, feel that your leg, your left thigh, right thigh, I'm sorry, is turned in, okay? So that's the first part. And start to lean forward, but as much as, again, you can keep that glute engaged, you can keep the navel back, your spine neutral. Bring both arms to the front. Again, outer rotation. So mild push here, chin is in, belly button back. Start to lean towards your left, start to side bend towards your left, and rotate towards your right. Push away. So you're contracting your left side, and you're stretching the opposite right side. So actively side bend to the left, rotate to the right. Look right between your hands. 1 more breath. Reach. Exhale fully. Slowly de-rotate. Come up. Release one hand and the other. Very good. And come on to a kneeling position. Okay, good. So let that settle a little bit. And let's go ahead and grab your block. So on this one, we'll be elevating one leg. So we'll stand on the block with one leg. So it's a standing forward bend. It's one of my favorite stretches. If you want another block, if you know you have a hard time forward bending and being able to bring your hands to the floor, you probably want something to elevate your hands. Now, another thing that you could do, so if it was me and I was really tight, I would probably use like a chair, right? And when I do my bend, then I can bring my hands on the chair, and then I could even rotate as well with my hands on the chair. So that's one way you could do it. Or if you had a second block, you can place a second block in front of you, okay? And that would be to elevate the floor, right? So maybe you need that. We'll stand with your right foot on the block, okay? And that's an asymmetrical forward bend. So we're elevating the right leg. The right side is the side that will be stretched, okay? So go ahead and bend your knees and fold forward, okay? So from that position, again, you decide if you need anything under your hands here. I'm just gonna stay here. So I'm starting to firm my legs a little bit more, my thighs, my quadriceps, as I'm starting to push my thighs back. And then I'm going to bend again. So bend that standing leg, the leg that's on the block, and straighten. And then one more time, bend and straight. Okay, so from here, I'm just going to start to shift my hips towards your right and then back in. So I shift my hips towards the right and then back in. One more time, shift. Now I'm going to stay here, continue, and walk your hands towards the left. So say you have a chair, you can just add a mild rotation towards your left. So continue shifting, swaying your hips to the right as you walk your hands to the left. And then maybe you'll even walk your right fingertips further across to the left. So getting a little deeper stretch here, even in the armpit area, getting into that subscapularis, right deep in that underarm region. I'm also feeling a lot of stretch on my ribs, on my the right rib cage here. Again, I'm mirroring you, so what you see is the right. Okay, and then one more breath. Then I'm going to walk my hands back. I'm going to come back to center. Take one more forward bend here. Then soften your knees. Dismount, so bring your right foot off the block. And it's roll up. Okay, shake it out a little bit. And we do the same on the other side, okay? Just because it's a lot of forward bend, just gonna bring you upright a little bit here. So let's do that on the second side. So your other foot on the block. All right, and let's fold. Okay, so from here, let's do the same thing. You'll start to extend. So of course the leg that's on the floor, one, we just stretched it, so it's already open. And the side that's more challenged is the one that's elevated, right? So extend and then bend. So again, decide if you need that block, if you need a block in front of you, or maybe you need a chair. So you're still doing the same work here. And then next time, you keep your legs straight, or as straight as you can. Push that thigh back, fold. And now we're going to do a little sway side to side. So I'm going to move my hips to the left, going to your left and back in. To your left, back in. One more time. Let's stay here. And then as your hips shift to the left, you start to walk your hands towards your right, to the outside of the foot that's on the floor. Actively push. And then I'm going to start to maybe walk my left fingertips towards the right even more. And I'm still pushing my hips to the left. One more deep breath here. Exhaling fully. Walk your hands back. De-rotate. Come back through center. Again, bow down. Take one more. Stretch here. And then come halfway. Bend your knees. Step down. Roll up. Ooh. All right. Check it out. So it's pretty deep and obviously real, asymmetrical. So let's do that to finish. We're going to lie down on the floor. Not going to use the block, actually. Lie down. Hug your knees to your chest. Okay, and bring your legs straight up. So just evening out right and left. Now bend your knees, grab your strap. If for some reason you do not have a strap, you can grab behind your thigh with both hands. Bring your left foot down and take the right ball of your foot inside of the strap. So that should feel actually pretty good because we just opened. I just want to get a little bit of the three-part hip stretch, very standard stretch here. So walk your hands up the strap. So actually both hands hold on to the strap, one on each hand. And then drive the leg in a little bit to the point of stretch. Actively pull down. So draw those arm bones down into the shoulder socket.
Ton petit sourire qui trouve la faille craque le premier de nous deux. Viens.
Keep your right side waist long. Actively press your left thigh down. Have your straps into your right hand, and then externally rotate your legs. So spin your toes to the left, to the right. Your heel stays in. Left hand on your left thigh, and bring that right leg out to the right side. So we did work the inner thighs quite a bit when we had you squeeze that block. So that's why I'm doing that, so you get a little bit of the adductor stretch. And don't worry about bringing your leg very close to the ground. That's really not what it's about. It's about bringing your leg as close to your shoulder as you can without collapsing in your right side waist. Now, if it's really hard for you to stabilize here and you feel you're kind of rocking to the side, you can place a block to the side of your hip. And you can rest your thigh bone on the block. That's another variation for that one. Flex that foot, one more breath. Then from here, we'll take the leg all the way up. Now let's switch your strap, place it in your left hand. Now this time, pigeon toe, so heel spins out, toes in. And it's that same internal rotation we worked on before, so your whole thigh is actually turned. And here, let's bend your left knee, and then scoot your hips towards your right a few inches so you can roll onto your outer left leg, and you'll take that right leg all the way over to your left side. Right thumb, right hip crease, give it a gentle push. So you can stay right here. If you want to add a quad stretch, you can bend your left knee, grab hold of your left foot with your right hand. Okay, so totally up to you. You can simply rest your leg straight on the floor. But even if you're holding that left foot, roll that right shoulder down. And maybe turn your head over to your right side as well. So here we're also stretching the glute. We're stretching IT band, that outer hamstring. And if you're holding that foot, you even get a quadricep stretch. Final breath. Slowly release the foot if you have it. Let's lose the strap. Square off your hips. Straighten both legs. Okay, even it out. And bring your left foot inside of your strap. Same thing, second side. So walk your hands up the strap so your arms are nice and straight. Draw your arm bones down, shoulders away from your ears. So just notice if this creates tension in your shoulders, because really it should not. So a lot of times, sometimes like yanking, we're like pulling, grabbing. So can you just keep a nice loose grip and just allow gravity to draw those arm bones down. So there's very minimal effort in the shoulders, in the neck, in the face. So none of this is going to help you here. Actively press the right thigh down.
Quand on se balade, nous deux, avec
Then take both of your straps into your left hand. And then spin your thigh open. So toes out, heel in. Right hand pressing down onto your right thigh. Take that left leg out to the left side. Remember, if you want to use that block, so that's what it would look like. I would bring my block here next to my hip, and I can just take my leg out to the side, okay? So that's if you need the support, so you're not rolling to the left. Keeping that right hand pressing down onto your right thigh might also help you here.
pervenche sous le nez du gardien distrait.
And again, the goal is to bring the leg closer to your shoulder, not to the floor. Most of us won't get there. So make sure that down leg, the toes are pointing up. So that down leg is actually very active.
Commande de café crème, on se prélasse.
One more deep breath, and we'll take the last part of that stretch. Bring the leg all the way up, switch your hand, and then heel out, toes in, so you're internally rotated. Bend your right knee, and use that to gently shift over to your left, just a few inches, that's usually enough. And then you can roll onto that outer right leg. So ideally here you want your pelvis to be perpendicular with the floor. Okay, so there's no tweak right there. So that's why taking that little shift over is helpful. Okay, so grab hold of your strap, and you can simply rest here. Again, if you did on the first side, you want to try grabbing hold of that foot. So we're coming into, we're adding that quad stretch. Roll that left shoulder down, maybe look over to the left.
On revient vers la fin du jour, jusqu'à la tour Maubourg. C'est au 6e, au nez de la tour Eiffel.
Show us one more deep breath here.
On voit l'escale.
Slowly release the foot if you have it. Lose the strap. Square everything off. Hug your knees into your chest. Gentle squeeze. Maybe a little roll from right to left. Gently rocking. And then grab your block one last time. Place it between your knees. Press your arms to your side. Give it one last little squeeze here, so squeeze. And then release. Bring your hips on the block. So bring your legs straight up. So as you know, I'm a big fan of legs up the wall, so that would actually be awesome to, if you had a wall, elevate your legs. Finish here, something symmetrical where both legs are doing the same thing. And just resetting that low back, make sure there's no tweak in there. Then bend both knees. Bring the feet down, lift your hips, slide off the block, roll to one side as one unit. Come on up. And we are done for today's class. So thanks so much for joining me on this nice Friday afternoon, and see you next week. Thanks, you guys.
Je voudrais le soleil vert, des dentelles et des théiers.